Welcome to Stitching Up Trouble, a podcast where a quilt retreat owner and a creative quilt designer cross paths and stitch up some trouble together. I am Mary, owner of Coosa Mountain Lodge.
And I'm Heidi Pridemore of the Whimsical Workshop. Hope you enjoy.
Hey, Hi, Heidi. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Are you recovered from H+H?
Sort of.
Sort of.
I'm getting there. How about you?
Sort of. Yeah.
Sounds like you caught a cold. We call we call it con crud.
Yeah. So, a little bit of a crud, but it's okay. I think part of the issue was pollen was done in Georgia, and then I went up to Chicago and pollen was not done. So
they're just starting with their whole spring bloom.
Yeah, so that might be part of it.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what clothes to pull out of my closet half the time because here it's 102. Chicago was 59, so it's cold, and then it's hot. So.
Yep.
But all in all, I think we had a good show.
I had a great time. It was really very interesting to me and a lot of fun. So I was very glad that I had your guidelines to go by to make sure that I ate my protein for breakfast. Hotel had a really nice omelet. Yeah. I wore my sneakers. Yeah. And I did bring a backpack. So I listened. It was good. I'm glad I did.
I told you to wear sneakers, then I didn't, and then my legs were killing me.
Yeah. But you looked really cute.
It was the price I had to pay.
Yeah. Her shoes were cute. Her pants had little bows on the hem at the back. They were so cute. So
they don't let me out much.
You had to look a little more presentable than I did.
I did. Yeah. So we were gonna do one from H+H. You and I were exhausted, so we did not get one, and it went so fast.
It really did. Yeah.
This is going to be our little recap of the show for you guys. Like, what did we see, and were there trends, and what did we buy? Which I was really good this time. So, as a first timer to H+H, what was your overall impression of the show, and did you see anything new?
So my overall impression, it was definitely much bigger and a much broader range of supplies and projects and techniques and things like that. It was much more varied. I was glad to see a few of the vendors that I had met at previous shows. I'd been to there's a sewing expo in Atlanta that I've met a couple of people at, and I've ordered some other stuff for the lodge. So it was nice to see people that I recognize and know, and then a lot of new faces. Definitely a lot of possibilities for collaboration and networking and things like that. So that was really very cool to see. You were right, like on the quilting side, there wasn't a whole lot that was new, but just a lot of really pretty fabrics, really different colorways and things like that, some different palettes. One booth that was really pretty, I don't remember the fabric company, but it was more traditional, more almost primitive kind of piecing, but their color theme was black and red and gray, and it was actually really pretty. It kind of had.
I'm trying to think of which one that was. So we both walked the quilting area, and you walked it with your eyes wide open, like you were looking at what people were hanging in the quilts, and I was looking at the people. I was like, okay, I need to talk to this client or that client or this client. So I'm not surprised. I can't remember which booth that was. Yeah. But it is, I do go kind of like, you end up with like tunnel vision, and you're like, I just need to find the people I need to talk to, or you get overwhelmed.
Yeah, and there was so much. I was surprised at the amount of needle felting
Yeah, that was definitely a bigger thing at this one. Last
That,
time there was only one.
yeah, and some really cool stuff, like not
Yeah.
um, much more intricate and detailed than I had
Right.
seen with needle felting before.
Yeah, it's
So,
definitely upping its game. It's
yeah,
become much more
yeah,
trendy right
yeah.
now.
And I think
Um,
just the colors of the wool that are available to do
mhm.
it is a wider range and more shades and variations, and
And brighter, just
yeah,
brighter,
yeah.
so
So,
yeah, you think of
um,
wool, you think of like kind of dark, and there's some really
right,
bright stuff out there.
yeah,
So, needle felting, there was, I don't know, at least 5 booths
yeah,
of that. The
yeah.
weird one.
Because I saw one that I really liked and didn't
Mhm,
make a good enough note of it,
mhm.
and couldn't find it the next
Oh,
day when I
no.
looked around. So probably saved me several $100s. It's okay. Um, hopefully they'll be there next year when I go.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
no,
I would
yeah.
I
So
would
there were
think
quite a
so.
few of them. So
Yeah, and there was like there's just so much energy there. There's, whether you're a buyer or you're talking about collaborating or you're just bumped into
mhm,
somebody on the floor.
yep,
Everybody was very energetic, which I think is why we were so exhausted at the end of the
yeah,
day. Because you can only put out that much energy for so many hours before you are just wiped out.
yeah, yeah.
And
There
because
was a lot to take in. There was,
yeah,
my
yeah,
head was on a swivel just taking in, oh, look at this booth, look at that booth, what are they've got
mhm,
going on? And it was,
mhm,
there was definitely a lot to take in. So it
mhm,
was
yeah.
um, visually exhausting.
It
But
is,
it
and
was,
that's why after so many of these, I that very so I was there a day longer than you. Well, actually a day and a half because
yep,
the other thing that you guys didn't take part with, but I've heard amazing things, is the day before the show is all about education. They're just seminars that are truly about business education,
yes,
not the
yes,
quilt market always had what they called schoolhouse, and in the beginning it was educational, and then it just turned into a marketing thing for people.
yeah,
But this one is actually they're paying people to come in and talk. I did one on Minky and like how to sell Minky in your store, how to sew with Minky. But
mhm,
but mine was the very last one. But there was an entire day of like business seminars and how
right,
to run a small business. So I didn't participate in that. I might do that next year because that's a whole
yeah,
nother.
yeah. I think that might be valuable next year to
Yeah,
to do some of that.
exactly. It's just,
If we could take a class on effective podcasting, that might be that might be
you
a good idea.
know, I don't know. I mean, all the comments we have gotten have been super, super positive. Um, this is definitely something, might surprise our listeners, but something that I feel like you and I are able to maintain and keep up with because it's very low. Like I don't have to get samples ready. I don't have to,
Right.
have a tutorial going. I don't have to have 3 cameras running. So it is definitely just two friends catching up every week
Yep.
about the quilting world. So, I think they could give us pointers, like maybe the better software, because I apologize to everybody that heard the glitchy
Yeah.
podcast that went up. You know what it was? It glitched out, cut 2 seconds out of my feed, and then scrunched it.
Oh,
So once
yeah.
I pulled it into Premiere Pro, then I had to. This is what you guys all get to see. I had to watch the video of my mouth and get the words to time with it. I had to do
Oh,
it manually. It wouldn't. So, yeah, maybe a better podcast software would be better. Good advice. But that's all right. We got it up, and I apologize to
yeah.
anyone who heard the
Yeah.
gobbledygook.
Give
It's
it
a new
give it a
one.
listen again if you tried it. It is fixed. It sounds much
Yes.
better.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
but so one thing that I was very impressed with and I was very surprised about was the app that they have for H&H.
Oh yeah, it's wonderful. It's the way
It
you get around the show.
it was incredible. So you register, everybody registers with their name and contact information.
Mm-hmm.
You go to the show, you print out your little name badge, and it has a QR code on it.
Mm-hmm.
If you have the app, you open the app, touch the little scan button and you can scan everybody's QR code and it
Mm-hmm.
saves it as their contact. But then it also, whoever scans your code, you get their contact information as well.
Yeah, I
And
noticed that
then,
afterwards.
yeah, and then you have the opportunity to like make notes, which I should
Mm-hmm.
have just scanned the
Mm-hmm.
needle felting booth, the person who
Mm-hmm.
was in it, and
Yeah.
said, I want to come back here tomorrow. And then I would
Right.
have known.
Right.
But um,
I,
I didn't do
I'm with
that.
you. I had a wonderful guy in Genome teach me how to use my,
Yeah,
because I
yeah,
needed his contact info, and it
yeah.
was. I'm like, oh, this would have been much more handy because especially for me, I'm like, I'm going there to meet people, but we don't have a meeting. So like
Right.
you walk in and you're standing and talking. It's not
Hmm.
conducive to taking notes,
Right, right,
because I had to
right.
come home and literally go through the app. Thankfully that I was there and go through
Mhm.
every company and see if any of them triggered. Did
Right,
I forget somebody or did I forget something?
right.
But yeah, the badges are, I mean, it's just an extremely well run show.
Yeah, very
Um,
much so.
and there's just so much to it and it goes so fast,
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
you come back and you're just sort of like a wet noodle and
yeah.
you're like, okay, what just happened? Where do I have to go from here? And who do I have to talk to? But I did something different this time. I brought just a carry-on suitcase
Mm-hmm,
because the last few years I have bought and bought and bought and came home with all kinds of lovely goodies, but not stuff I necessarily needed. So
mm-hmm.
I really didn't buy anything, but I know you did. So did you find anything good? And I mean, you bought something for me that I have to pay you for, but cross stitch kits.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But do you
So
want to share with us what you bought?
sure. So yes, I bought cross stitch kits. I had seen this lady's kits when I was in Oregon for the Sisters Oregon show 2 years ago.
Okay.
My friend
Mm-hmm.
Dana bought one of her kits. So as
Mm.
we were walking around the show, Dana spotted the kits and she's like, "Oh my gosh, that's the." So it's um, she's based in Oregon, small business.
Mm-hmm.
She designs the kind of cross stitch. She puts the kits together herself,
Yeah.
and so it was really fun to get to chat with her a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Her kits have some swear words in them, so
What did the one lady ask me? Oh, I want inappropriate cross stitch kits.
yeah, that's what
So
this is.
not all of them are. A lot of
No,
them were not, but
no,
they
but
had a sense of humor, which I liked.
yeah,
So,
absolutely, absolutely.
right.
So, I think that might have been the booth that I spent the most money in.
Okay.
So that was, it was fun to talk to her and see her, and you can tell that it really means a lot to somebody when they're a small business and they get an order like that.
Right.
It wasn't a ridiculous amount of money, but every
For
little
me as a
bit.
beginner, like if that was like
Right.
an order one person wrote, I'd be thrilled.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I
So
have
it
to
was
tell you, even
really,
when I get like a $12 order on our website, I still get excited.
yeah.
So,
And she's already reached out with a really nice email following up. And,
oh, nice.
it just, yeah, it was really,
Yeah.
really very cool. So I bought inappropriate cross stitch kits from her.
Yep.
Um, some that I think my kids will appreciate. So
Yeah.
they might be getting cross stitch projects for Christmas, like
Well, you
finished
cross
cross
stitch
stitches.
way faster than I do. So, maybe I should just leave the two I bought with you and see if they show
Oh,
up finished.
see how that works out for you. Um, so I did that, and then I did buy two needle felting kits.
Okay.
They're in the hoop, so
Okay.
you need the
Mm,
wool mat to punch in,
mhm. Yep.
and um, one was flower, and one was a pair of cardinals.
Oh,
So,
cool. Okay.
um, so I got
Yeah.
that, and then I bought a crochet kit for a giraffe for your niece
Oh, yeah.
Violet to crochet for me.
Yep. I
I
have some here I need to mail out to Miss Violet.
Yep, I
So,
gave it to her last night actually. So she will be doing working on that for me. Trying to think what else I bought.
Yeah, I only walked with you part of the time. Like
Yeah,
every time I planned on walking with you at the show, I ended up getting pulled into a
yeah,
conversation, and it was like, half-hour conversation. You guys would be like 5 rows later.
yeah, yeah,
So we didn't necessarily walk the show together for our viewers, our listeners.
yeah,
We touched base, and then Mary was with my husband. She was in our hotel room, so we got to have dinner with everybody. I thought that worked out great
mhm,
because we
yeah.
were with Shannon from the Common Thread, which we need to always mention.
Yep. The common thread in
And
Dahlonega,
yep,
Georgia.
yeah. So it was
Um,
Shannon and Dana and you and me and Matthew. So
yep.
it was really nice to have like a personal element and not just always business for me
Yeah, yeah,
because I can get totally sucked up into being on and
yes.
being professional. And then it was nice to afterwards just to kind of relax and um, chill out. And actually, if it's all right with you, for the thumbnail for this, I'll use the picture you sent me of the three of us at the tiki bar. So,
Absolutely.
yeah,
That was a
because
cute picture.
it was a great picture and it was a great time. And so, let's see. So, other than what you bought, what did I buy? I was looking for kit things.
Mm-hmm.
I bought some really nice fabric to put in our embroidery kits,
Okay.
thread
Nice.
drops, bought stuff for the November retreat kits.
Cool.
So everything I bought was going to be shipped to me, and it was in
Yeah.
very big quantities.
Oh, I bought some ironing
Oh, the ironing
mats.
mats.
Oh,
Yeah.
what are they made out of?
Silicone.
Silicone. Silicone
Mhm.
ironing mats to try
Yeah.
at the lodge because I have a really hard time keeping my ironing surfaces decent at the lodge because they get scorch marks. They get people are using starch and best press and whatever, and they get
Right.
kind of
Right.
stained. And then every once in a while, somebody will trim a block on my ironing board, and there'll be cuts in them. And I mean,
Okay.
you
I
know,
know. It's
it
a it's a
happens.
it's a community space, and
Yeah.
yeah.
So
The
it's
the one where we go, well, we don't go there anymore, but for the longest time there were iron burn marks in the carpet. It was like indoor outdoor carpet. You could see where people dropped the iron.
mhm. Yeah,
And you're like, "Oh, okay."
yeah.
So,
I have some of my tables have iron marks on them.
yeah.
I think people have those Rowenta irons at home that pop up.
Oh, Osa. Aren't the Osa ones that
Oliso.
pop up?
I thought
Yeah.
that anyway,
They're,
the iron that pops up when you let it go.
and then they get there and they forget that they don't have
Correct.
that, which is
Correct.
why I don't have that iron because it terrifies me.
Yeah.
It'll train me to do bad things, so I
Right.
don't have
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So
So
I'm trying to think if there was anything new, like for the quilting world. There were new things. Like at the show, there were 5 or 6 paint by number companies, which I found
yeah.
very intriguing and
Yeah.
interesting. Like, okay, I don't know why that would be there. Like you said, needle felting was there.
Some
Um,
bead mosaic companies, which
yeah,
were
there were a couple
interesting.
bead
Yeah.
mosaic companies.
Hmm.
But for the most part, like Sashiko, there were 3 or 4 booths for
Hmm.
Sashiko. But the fabric companies really didn't have new stuff. The notions, like there weren't a lot of notions there, and I don't know how much of that, were people that didn't come because of the whole tariff mess, which
Right.
I was surprised wasn't brought up as much as I feared it would be. There were a couple companies it really
Yeah.
affects, and then
Yeah.
other companies are working around it. But I think embroidery was bigger. There were more embroidery
Yeah.
companies
Hmm.
there. Everybody kind of has their own twist, which is kind of nice. Like embroidery companies are just like pattern companies in the sense that they're small businesses, usually run by one person. And so the
Hmm.
embroidery picks up their personality. So then you could
Right.
find somebody who like really likes nature, or somebody who, there was a lady there, she had a big booth. Her embroidery kits were all based on her watercolors,
Yes.
and her
Yes.
watercolor paintings were up top, and then you
Yep.
saw the embroidery kits. And I apologize, I don't remember her name, but her stuff was
Um,
beautiful.
her name.
Did you get any of those?
See. Oh yeah. Her name is Kate Wyatt,
Oh, so did you buy
and
some?
yes, I did.
Oh, I would
Yeah.
have added on to that order.
I did cash and carry at the end of the
Oh,
day.
okay, yeah, because you
Um,
stayed longer than we did. We had to
yeah,
leave early,
yeah.
so.
Yeah, so we did cash and carry. She had some really pretty floral kits of
Mhm.
three different zinnias, which
Mhm.
are some of my favorite flowers. So I bought those kits.
Yeah.
I made Dana buy a kit and promised to teach her how to do it. Um,
That's good.
so yeah, and then she does custom
Ooh.
embroidery kits.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm kind of talking to her about maybe doing some of the lodge.
Yeah,
So
that'd be really cool.
yeah, that might be
Oh.
fun.
I
So
mean,
we'll
she
see.
definitely had her she had it all pulled together. Like she even had needle minders that when you put the needle minder on the embroidery kit, it was a little bee that was on the
Yeah,
flower, or it
yeah,
was, so I mean, she had it all pulled together. I only wish I was that pulled together.
yeah. She had a really neat booth.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I bought four kits from her,
Right.
and have her information. So she
Hmm.
was really neat to talk to. I think some of her family's from the area in Georgia where we are, and
Oh, nice. Okay.
so she's familiar with Dahlonega, and
Yeah.
so it was really kind of fun to be able to talk to her and
Yeah,
get to
we
know her a
worked
little
her
bit.
for a few minutes too, and she was very personable.
Yeah,
Everybody we talked to,
yeah,
everybody was
yeah,
very, very nice. You didn't get anyone that was kind of put offish.
right.
Even the German pavilion, we went over there because I was talking to them about Zweigert Fabrics was they had a pavilion in the middle of the show that had the big German flag over it, and it was all the German companies. They must have kind of pooled together to create this thing, and he was so funny. He told me where to go buy. This is the cross stitch fabric or embroidery fabric or punch needle fabric. And he gave me a pack of Harbo gummy bears.
Oh,
And he made
nice.
it very clear they were from Germany, not the US ones. And you know what? When
Yes.
I ate them, they were not as sweet and they were smaller. I don't know what those
Hmm.
guys are doing. They're making their bears too small, but they were very they were very good. But I mean, it was just like, oh, that's like, there's this whole cross culture thing going on there as
Hmm.
well with the people coming from all over the place. But
Yeah,
all in all, it was a very successful show for us. Hopefully, it was. I know you had a good time, and there
yeah.
was
I had a
so
great
much
time.
to see.
I really, it was nice to get to do a little bit of networking, talk
Hmm.
to a few different vendors about options going forward at Coosa Mountain Lodge and
Hmm.
Retreat.
Yeah.
So hopefully we've got some interesting things coming up with
Yes.
some of those vendors. So I don't want to say too much because I don't want to, you
Jinx
know,
it. Don't jinx
jinx
it.
it or put anybody on the
Mhm.
spot or anything. But
No.
yeah, some exciting
Yeah.
stuff coming up. So
Yes, there is. There's a
yeah.
lot, and the same here. I mean, we came back, and I actually spent the entire weekend designing the rest of my newest batik line that's going to come out. It's coming out summer of 2027. So, we're a little
Wow.
but so I came back from being with all of these people and all of this just
Hmm.
socializing, and I came in my studio and I put on my headphones and I literally, because I hand draw everything, I hand drew for 2 full days. But it's due the day after we get back from vacation, so I actually got it finished and off.
Yes.
And it's called Wonderland in Bloom. That's all I'll tell you.
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice.
So yeah, so I did that, and just sort of just I just didn't really want to talk to anybody after
Yeah,
5 days of talking to people.
I get it. Yep.
so so now we have to go back out in the world tomorrow. We're flying out for our vacation. I know you're flying out tomorrow for your
Hmm.
vacation, but
Yes.
you have something fun to work with. I mean, you're gone twice as long as I am, so.
Yeah. I'm going to bring along one of the embroidery kits that we got at
Mhm.
H&H, and then I'm bringing along that same cross stitch that's been all over the place.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
I talked to the resort where we're staying, and they have very strict weight limits on the luggage that you can bring
Mm. Okay.
because it's a small plane to get us to the island where we're staying.
Mhm.
So I switched out the scissors that I was carrying because I had the clunky ones with the big handles to like the little teeny tiny
Yeah.
stork scissors.
Yeah.
I'm trying
Well,
to
the ones I
decide.
gave you are even lighter.
Yes,
Those
yes,
things weigh nothing.
they do.
Yeah.
So you have to I have to have a backup scissors. So I
Oh
have
yeah.
the light ones that you gave me, and then the tiny stork ones
Yeah.
that I have
And you know,
multiples
I
of.
came home and I found another pair. I had 3 pairs
Yeah.
with me.
You're going to be like me, Heidi.
I know I have
Um,
scissors everywhere.
so that's what I'm bringing along. I
Hmm.
will also bring along like a notebook to journal
Yeah.
while we're there and keep track of things we've seen and whatever.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'll
So,
be cool.
yeah.
I
So
was working on that same cross stitch like in Chicago and then this week at night, and I think I'm to the burnout point again, so that will go back in the
yeah,
rotation. And
yeah,
um, I still that is, I have to pack tonight, which will take me like 30 minutes, but then I got to pack my craft stuff that'll take like 2 hours. So, because I got to figure out what am I actually taking on this trip.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
but it should be fun. But
yeah.
well, I guess we both have stuff we got to get done tonight, so we should wrap this one up.
Wrap
As
it up.
always, guys, leave us comments below. Let us know what you thought. Did you have any questions about H&H that we didn't clarify, or we went
Did
off on
you
a
see
tangent?
something that we missed? I know there's some people that were there. We might have
Yeah,
missed something
yeah.
that we should have checked out. So
Hmm.
let
Yep,
us
and I'm
know.
sure. So, all right. So we will see you guys in the next one.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good trip.
You too. Bye.
Bye.